Welcome everybody to the channel. If you're new, you're welcome. Welcome everybody to the channel. If you're new, you're welcome. Anybody new as well and sort of has been on the channel for a while, all the subscribers, thanks very much. Thank you for supporting me. I'm just sorry, I've still got a bit of a sore throat. Yeah, I wanted to talk about something today which is a bit controversial, but until you've actually been through it, it's difficult to explain to people. As you know very well, anybody who's known about the BBC, they're making a documentary at the moment called The Reckoning with Steve Coogan playing Jimmy Savile. Now, what I want to say now is basically, as I've been abused as a child, I'm going to go into more detail about that, but when you've been abused as a child and you now become an adult, of course, you can accept the situation, and there's nobody better really than Steve Coogan to do this role.
I'm not an act. What you see is what you get.
You'll be in touch.
He's our man. He was one of the biggest manipulators of people to rise to the status that he did.
The investigation found no evidence to justify the allegations.
And you consider that to be the end of the matter?
He groomed the whole nation.
There are rumours that there's another side to you.
What rumours might those be?
He gets away with it because no one else sees it. It's a violation.
As old as I am now, I would have danced on his grave.
This is a children's park basically, and obviously there's no kids playing, that's where I'm filming it, but that's where kids like to play. And the analogy I'm going to give you with the situation with PDs or people like Savile, what they do, they target certain people, they groom them, and obviously children under a certain age, 4 or 5 like myself, like I was when I was groomed or abused, you become, in some respects, like this little situation with, I'm going to show you now, this, you have a reward by doing things for these people. Gato, yeah, go on, get it, go on. So they've gone to get his ball, and he will keep playing ball all day, as long as he comes back and he gets a reward. He's got his foot scratchings here, oh, he's having a wee now, but he will play all day. Bring my ball back, right, Gato, and he will come and he'll get his reward, right? You see, people, what I imagine is that many people think that Savile got away with it. That's the thing, what comes out in this drama. He got away with it. He got away with it because of his situation he was in, the power he had, and how he plays his friends that he associated with. And he was crafty and cunning the way he covered his tracks, especially when he was in the mortuary with people. Things like this, when he's working in the hospitals, there's no record really of what he got up to. And of course he was a prolific in hospitals that maybe a lot of people have not come forward. There may have been more than 500 people. We'll never really know, because, like I was saying to you, some people cope with it better than others. Some people feel more guilty than others about it, and they don't want to be associated with them. If nobody knows about it, it's between you and the devil kind of thing. You, him, the devil, him being a monster is between him and you only, and you don't want to be involved in it. So there could be 200 people more who have not been documented, who don't want to be associated with it, and they blocked it off. Like in some cases, the child abuse that I went through between 4, 5 and 6-year-old kid, it got out of my mind. It wasn't. It was terminated for a while till all this came back to light about Savile, and the people who abused me have probably long been dead now. I don't know. It's never really affected me in that respect to find out, to bring them to justice, because I can't do that anymore, because, as I said before, it's a long time ago. If I could do it, I don't know whether I'd want to go through with it, even if I did know they were still around, and even though they'd be probably around 100 years old now, or at least in the 80s or 90s, because I think the people who abused me were in their late 40s or mid 40s. I can't really say. I was only 4 or 4 years old. I can't remember the actual, but I suppose I said between 40s and 50s or something like that. They wasn't young anyway, put that way. They were in the mature kind of people. And I know they worked in the buses, on the buses, and I know I could trace back 1 or 2 things about them if I really wanted to investigate and try and find out whether they're still alive or not. I don't know. Oh, my seatbelt's come back up. I don't know what's with the seatbelt here. Come out. As I said before, I will find out more maybe some other time. I've still got this chesty cough, but as I said, not as bad as it was, but still sore. But anyway, folks, that's what happens to you. People go through it. Some people got lucky, but don't have to go through it. But in my case, I was lucky in some respects that it wasn't something that destroyed me totally as a person. It didn't do that. And a lot of people cope with it different ways. That's what you do. So it can affect you different ways. Different people have different ways of dealing with it. In my case, I was probably some lucky in some respect. Although I did go off the rails a bit. I was a teenager, like we all do, a bit. And that may have been something to do with it. I wasn't very good in mixing with people, because at these parties I went to, or these things where I was abused, there was more than the couple that abused me. There was maybe 6 to 8 people involved. Like, they used to come to the house, and other people, just the couple. It was like group, like an orgy kind of thing of abuse. So I remember, I was never good at communicating at school. When I was in a group of the class at school, I felt inhibited and a bit withdrawn, a bit at ease. And of course, I was completely dyslexic. I couldn't spell cheese at 5 or 6. I couldn't spell. I was very, very... And of course, I had trouble with my eyesight in them days. I was very short with one eye. But it did heal. I had to wear a patch on one eye and stuff like that. But I moved off from it. I didn't really let it worry me too much. I did move about, travel about a bit when I was growing up as a kid. My family moved around a bit, so I didn't stay settled in one place really. So that had probably been the trouble why I didn't get a good education really, why I became thick. Well, just I was thick. But anyway, I remember my dad trying to learn me how to spell cat, and I spelled it a couple of times, and 10 minutes later I couldn't remember it. And like I was saying to you before, with these people, they at that age, between anything under 3 to 5 years old, they know that you're vulnerable to remember things. It's your mind is not dementiarized as a child, but it comes in and out, and you don't really remember things. That's why they groom you at an early age, and they can trust you that you're not going to spill the beans on them basically, and you come back next week for some more presents, and keep this to yourself now, don't tell anybody what's been happening today, you've had a nice day, and don't tell your mum and dad about this and that, don't tell anybody, keep us a secret, blah, blah, blah. And next week you come and you open another present, and then they ask you to do this and do that, and you do it. And like I said about the scenario with the ball, like Cato fetching his ball, you fetch the ball all day and play and get rewarded with toffees and sweets, so you play all day to their needs, their gratification. And that's what Savile was all about, self-gratification, a narcissist, and selfish and all the rest of it, and didn't care, always about himself. Never got married, never got any affection from anybody. One or two rumours he had a child, but he didn't really, he had his own self-gratification that he wanted, nothing else. He didn't want a relationship with anybody. And that's what I say. But like I said, one of the most great channels to hear all this is Sean Atwood. Sean's done a lot of great work about the situation with Savile, and I'd like you to go and watch his channel if you want to get some more information about it, other than the BBC documentary, which is nothing really. Yes folks, it's important, if you're liking the video, to give us a thumbs up, a like, share with other people, pass the message on. You're quite welcome to do that. The more people who ring up and cancel the license, get the two-year exemption, like expectancy, that's all I'm here for. And of course, that's what it's about. And subscribe to the channel helps my channel grow, and of course I thank you for that, and that's very nice of you to subscribe if you're liking the content or it's been useful to you. Leave comments and tell me if it's made a difference for you, and I will try and improve myself as well, try and make a video more interesting for you to sort of understand. Anyway folks, like I said before, thank you again, and I say give us a like, and that's the best thing to do, get my channel moving again, sort of into the algorithm, how YouTube works. I don't really know exactly how it works, but the more thumbs up you get, the more likes, the more people watch the video, that's how it works. So anyway, thank you if you are doing that at this point here in the video. Thank you very much, and I appreciate it. Leaves are still green. I thought the leaves would be dying off by this time of year now, but it's not. They're not. Anyway, Cato, you keep being. He's happy. I was going to say something else now, but about it, because like I said, I mean, obviously people in history will go down like Savile as another monster like Adolf Hitler, what he did and what the Third Reich did, and the SAS, the German people, the Nazis did, how they committed crimes of war on the Jews, and what they did in the concentration camps, how they used and killed people just like flies, and you become like that. That's what Savile became a monster, that he didn't care about people's feelings, just his own self-gratification. That's all he wanted, gratification for himself, not feeling about other people's feelings. He just made everybody think he was caring and kind and charitable, and that was just a way of becoming, try and pay something back because he was evil. He sort of made it so, I'll do a bit of charity work, I'll do a fun run or something, and, repay back my harm I've done to people by doing something, He was doing a good deed for something he'd done bad, if you know what I mean. Thinking that would be so smart, like going to church and maybe something on a Sunday, and then the rest of the week you commit an adultery all week, you know what I mean? Stuff like that, you can get away with it one week and get away with it the next, stuff like this. That's the way his mentality was. He didn't have any passion to keep to other people, of their feelings, and he just was all for himself, and that's all it was. But anyway folks, I'm going to leave it there. Thanks again for watching, and leave your comments about it. As I said, it's just something I had to get off my chest, I suppose, and tell people about that. It does affect people all in different ways, and some people cope with it better than others. And as a drama, I've not watched it, and I won't be watching it probably because I've been through it. I don't have to have a BBC tell me all about it because I know about it. not just for the drama that I went through, but other people I've seen it happen to. Like my friend who was a best mate, he went to jail over it, over being a P and abusing his stepdaughter. And the thing was, we tried to forgive him. We wrote to him in jail and understood what he did wrong, you know, and stuff like this. And he paid 3 years, which is nothing really, but I mean, Savile could have got 100 years in jail. But that's another thing, you know, he got away with it. And of course, that's what happens sometimes. They get away with things when you've been affected by it. It's changed your life, and of course, compensation, money means nothing to what you've been through. And you can have all the money in the world, but you know, it still doesn't hurt the pain that you've been through. And like I said before, it makes an effect on you mentally, and some people cope with it better than others. I was just lucky. I moved on from it, and it didn't affect me that much. Well, it has some effect. You can't describe it. It has made some effect on me. That's probably why I'm making this video now, to try and tell people that until you've been through it, it's to me, the drama has been done. Probably some other time I can watch it some other time, maybe when I've sort of look back on it. Maybe you can. I mean, you know, it'll be there forever now. They've made this film, unless they ban it from somewhere. But the point was, I think Steve Coogan's done a great job, because, like I say, whoever did the war films with Adolf Hitler, some people have portrayed him as he was, and you know, things like this. But anyway, it's up to you what you want to think about it, because leave your comments at the end of the video. You can say whatever you want. I've been through it, so there's nothing anymore I can say on it. Other than that, really, it's inappropriate. Myself, I think it's been appropriate that it's been made at this particular time. Maybe another time, maybe, I don't know. I suppose it would have been done sometime if this hadn't been done, but I don't think the BBC are the right people to do it. So they're being totally independent from them, because, like I was trying to say to you, they made him the monster he was by Jim will fix it. Jim will fix it, that's what it was. It was a fix it. It's a fix it for him, not for you. All them kids that think that were wrote in and people went on the show. It was nothing to do with the kids. Fix it for them, he fixed it for himself. And there was people who knew this, who worked at the BBC, who have not been accounted for, not been prosecuted, not been anywhere near, but they knew all about it. That's the worst thing for me, that it's a lie what the BBC have been telling for years, and they employed somebody. Of course, he was never around when children in need, because I think Terry Wogan, I remember Terry Wogan didn't want him anywhere near kids, because Terry knew. I think Terry knew. I don't know if it's true or not, but you'll find that there's nowhere there would be on anywhere children in need, which is from the 80s. He was never anywhere near them, which was one good thing anyway, because he never took part. He was one of the funniest idiots about you could ever want to take part in. But there was one or two things I think it was on the children in need, but they soon blocked him from that. They knew that they could never have him associated with that, which is great. Well, anyway, folks, I'm going to leave it there because I've gone on a wee bit. But it has to be done. Sometimes you have to make, like the BBC have made this programme, they made it as a real PR stunt in my mind. That's what I think it is. Although there's some good things in it about what people went through to sort of make people understand. But in my case, it doesn't make any difference, because I've got the T-shirt, I've worn it, and I've done with it, and I've moved on from it. You know, I don't need anybody to remind me about it. So anyway, folks, thanks again. Thanks for all those likes, thumbs ups, and I will see you on the next one. Bye for now.